Hello everybody, ADDF Toxic here, and welcome back to the Bottle Rocket Gaming server. Today I'm going to play with some computers again. After seeing these two programs that I made, Warp decided that he thinks to-do list would be a good thing to put in a computer as well. I have the to-do list here for anything related to Rails. And it's in a book, which, as we already know, books are kind of a pain to edit. So if we were to complete a task in the middle of this page here, let's say we've finished the Rail Office, to have to backspace everything. There's no way I can just take Rail Office out of the middle there. So that's I'm going to start working on a program. It's going to be quite similar to this probably. As far as the way it stores files. But instead of telling you how to build the train, it is going to help you organize to-do lists. To-do... Rail. So that will be the label for this computer, and I do plan on using some monitors again, and that is not the right direction. And I am just getting massive frame drop today, so I have to excuse that. Where'd the monitor go? And by the way, this area out here is where the Rail Office is planning on being put. Currently it's obviously not built, but I can put a computer here for now. I've set the label so that if we need to move the computer, it doesn't lose this program. And I'm going to back up the program anyway. So I will start working on that, and then I'll bring you guys back, because again, watching my program, no fun at all. So I will be right back. So when we look at the original book of the rail yard to-do list here, Warp has kind of separated these into categories, so service yard or repair yard or control center, which is a future project we have planned that we want to get to eventually. And then underneath there's kind of all the projects that we want to work on, such as water stations to fill trains with water instead of, just the random water stations that we currently have, and cold refill station, things like that, or we want to build the back of the building here for the office where this computer is going. So here's what I got so far. I have a advanced computer down here, a nice big advanced monitor up here, and two floppy drives, one on the left and one on the right. And you don't have to have two floppy drives. I was just doing some tests with it. I put in support for floppy drive on the left and floppy drive on the right. Actually, if I go over, I have another floppy drive just sitting around. If I put this on the right, so now I have a floppy drive on both sides, when I start this up, it will tell me that there's a disk on both the left and the right, and it doesn't understand that. So I have to remove both of them, just because that's the way floppies unfortunately work, and then put in the one that I'm actually planning on using. And the reason it does that is because all the files are stored on the floppy disks in this program, and I'll explain why later. But I couldn't determine which floppy I was going to be reading files from if there were floppies on both sides, and it doesn't always refresh properly, I noticed, if you just take one out. So I said just take them both out and then reinsert the one you want to use. So now if I press enter to continue, it loops around again and actually enters the bulk of the program, reading the data from this floppy here. Now I just realized you can't actually see but it shows the label of the floppy. It's happened a bit too early, so it kind of got ran off the screen. So that's something I'll have to fix. But if I enter Option L here, I can change the label. And currently the label is test, as you can see down below. Let's change that to demo, and that actually changes the label on the actual floppy. Now this floppy here, you notice it's called Programs Backup because that's where I store backups of the programs that I'm writing. As well, I have a little program on there that will help me get out of tricky situations if I manage to put a computer in an infinite loop. But that's my little disk, and this one I just renamed it in an Anvil just to see the difference between an Anvil rename and a label on an actual floppy. This is still called floppy disk. A bit more on these labels later. One of the things that I had to do differently with this program compared to this program here where you can build a train, view services and all this, there's not going to be all that many items on the list here. Since this all runs on color, there's only going to be a maximum of 15 or 16, and that will fit on one screen. This program here, it's not based off color, so there could be 30 categories. So I had to figure out a way to navigate between next page and previous pages, such as like it's like I did there NP. And another thing, I separated this into 3 layers. First layer being categories, so like I was showing here. Repair yard would be the category, or service yard, or control center. And then underneath that, if I just choose number 8 because that's the one I've been using to test, apparently I had a specific song going through my head when I made this test data. But anyways, then you get to the list of projects, and again, we got next page, previous page, and of these projects. And so the project in this case here would be things like build back building or the rail office. Smooth roof, I think, would probably go underneath one of the under the next layer, which is tasks. So if I go under oh geez, apparently I wrote all the lyrics in here. So tasks, there are 3 different categories for. By default, it shows the active list, and when I select a task, I can void the task or mark it as complete. And if I, in this menu here, I can see the switch to the voided tasks, and it shows me the list of voided tasks. That was a bit of a typo on my part, so I just voided that. And I can also switch to the completed tasks. So once we're done a specific task, then we can put it on the completed list, and then if we go to the active list, this is what we still need to do. Now you notice there, all these items have been appearing on the monitor as well, so that you don't have to click into the computer to see it. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this program that I haven't played with before in Computercraft is, if I right-click this, you notice it tries to do an action, unlike if I right-click over here. Because these monitors are actually can also be used as touchscreens. So that's actually also why there's a previous and a next down at the bottom here. So you can go to the previous page and the next page. And I want to make it so that if you right-click on one of the items here, then it would go into that item. Well, not necessarily in the tasks list, but in the projects list and the categories list. If I were to right-click a category, then it would open up that on the screen here, and you wouldn't need to right-click here and go in and find the number on here to go into the category. But one of the things with that, when I'm waiting for keyboard input, it uses this function called read, and read is a blocking function, which means that it's going to sit there and wait until the user actually enters something. Now, what that means, as far as I'm concerned, is I have no way of also watching, well, no way in quotation marks, of also watching for the user to click something on the screen. That is, on the monitor, that is also another blocking function from what I've seen so far. I've done a bit of preliminary research on the touchscreens, and that's also a blocking function. So it will sit there and watch for an event like clicking on the monitor to happen, and when it does, then the code will continue. But I also want it to be watching for keyboard entry, because I still want this to be functional without having the without having to have a monitor. So you could have it without a monitor if you are really low on space in your office where we plop one of these things. And on top of that, you can't add a category because there's no keyboard up here. So this needs to be also active. So that's going to be something. I did a little bit of research already, and it looks like there's something called a parallel API, in which I'll be able to watch for, listen for a keyboard input, or listen for a monitor touch input, and once one of them is received, then it will continue executing. But it's all going to be learning for me, so I will start on that, and I'll be right back. Alright, well that was a little bit easier than I expected to get the touchscreen working. So you can see right now I have it, I can't type anything right now because I was testing with this, just with the categories list, and I can't type anything because currently I have it only watching for input from the touchscreen. So if I were to right-click here, Crush Test Tummies, which by the way I'm listening to them right now, then it would move into the Crush Test Tummies category. And this, I still have the old code of going into this, the keyboard. So I'll just go back, and then I'm just going to hold Control-T to terminate the program. If I go in here, and I'm going to remove this line. Sorry, forgot to mute my phone. I probably don't care about that anyway, but I'll check it out once I'm finished here. And I'll uncomment this line here, and this is the parallel API that I was talking about. Wait for any will, once any of these return, once either of these functions are finished, then it will continue coding. There's also a wait for all, which will wait for both of them to finish, but I don't want to do that, because I want one or the other to finish. So it's going to do watch for keyboard, which is the standard read from keyboard. And it's also going to run watch for touch at the same time, which is what I'm using to watch for clicks on the touch screen. And that's a bit more of a complex function because I have to check. I have to first pull the event, the monitor touch event, and then I have to check where the Y position is that it gave me. And then if it's on the bottom row, then I have to check the X position to see if I clicked previous or if I clicked next. And basically I just put in the same letter that the user would normally enter if they were doing the keyboard, so N for next, P for previous. And then it just continues from there. So now if I go in here, I can go next, I can go previous, I can go 8, I can then go back from here because this I haven't done anything with yet. Or I could go up here, next, previous, into the category, and touchscreen just kind of dies at this point because I still need to finish this. I also need to put a back here so that I can get back to the categories list without having to click here. Something else to just quickly show you here. This safely remove floppy here on Q, that will bring you back to this screen here. It doesn't actually quit the program. There is actually no way from this screen, well, there is a way from this screen to quit the program altogether. It's kind of hidden though. None of these messages will say to click to quit the program, but I did put if it is Q, then it will quit the program, but that's mainly for developer purposes. I don't see any purpose for you to actually quit the program once this is in normal operation, because that will be what a computer is probably for. That's just the way I built this program. But that would be useful if you want to quit, take out this floppy, put in a different floppy, just pretend that's a different floppy, different valid floppy. Press enter to continue and it loads the new floppy. Oh, yeah, and I fixed that so you can actually see the label now. Yeah, it's only like half an hour later. Like I said, it was easier than I expected it to be. So I will, I'm going to start copying this into the disk here, and get the touchscreen working on the rest of the menus, and then I will be right back. Alright, so I think I'm ready to call this a working program. I've completed full navigation functionality on the touchscreen, as well as on the with the terminal keyboard, and of course there's a few extra options if you're actually using the terminal here, such as add category, or if we'll just go into lines to run here, you can delete the category or edit the category name if I make a typo or something. Or another example of that is if I go into, I'll just do it from here. If I go into BDA's town, right now I have that very generic because he hasn't announced what his town is yet, and I want to wait until that before I go and spoil everything. So I'll be able to edit that from here later. But I have in here a few tasks that we need to do with that. Loading the whole line with anchors so that it doesn't, because trains seem to like that better, and actually Warped has already gone ahead and done that, so I'm just going to complete the task here. And now it's gone from this list, and if I go into the completed tasks list here, you see it is here a few times because I had a bit of a mishap with a glitch in the program earlier, but is that the button I wanted? I think so. Yes, it is. I just kind of went off memory there, so I wasn't sure if I hit the right button. Yeah, so I've also copied all of Warp's old to-do notes from this book here into the program, and fixed the bug again because we had a program crash, or a server error, but I want to bring Warped has a bunch of to-do lists, of course, and actually want to just test something here. That's why I'm grabbing a chest. And I want to bring him a computer like this. I don't need 2 floppies here. But I want to test, if I put the chest under here, does it open? It does not. Okay. That's what I was wondering. But anyways, I'm going to grab a computer and a few monitors and a floppy drive. Oh, no, wait, I have a disk drive here. And I'll just bring that to him and help set it up in his office, and I will be right back.
My to-dos, so little time. Wrap together.
Hey,
Hey,
Works.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, I have something for you today.
If it involves work, I'm too busy, as you can plainly see.
Yeah, how many to-do lists do you have altogether?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Too many.
Too many, okay. And how do you tell these lists apart?
I keep getting around to like naming the books at some point, so I can figure out what the heck is what. And
oh, I'm editing your book here. Yeah, I see the front one is Skeezy, but the back one's
a couple of titles. There's a strip mall, which I'm right now, but
so you just have to open each one up and look.
pretty much.
I have something better for you.
You have something better, huh?
Yep, and I'm breaking your wall in the process.
Woohoo!
Damn Rogers.
Not really sure how making my wall boards is better. That is the most retarded crafting bench I've ever seen.
That is, yes, and I am so unprepared. Oh, crap. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to look up a number here. Found it.
What? Are you going crazy?
I've been going crazy since 2009, and so that's not...
It's a vicious spiral. It really is.
Okay, so you want to take your old desk away there? Or do you... Well,
Okay.
do you have anything in this, you still have a lot of stuff in that chest. I think you could hold all the books easier, so...
Yeah, I'll go over here.
And I'll just put up a monitor there. This can expand one more out to the left, but I still have some lists there.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get those onto books. On the books, so to speak. I've been a little slow on this. Got a lot to-do lists, and I've been working on our new mod pack.
Oh, yeah, that's is that on one of these lists here?
You know, it's actually not.
All right. Well, here's most of your new system. Here's all of your new system now. Oh crap.
Cool. I can watch movies now.
Yeah. This you can't open this chest underneath the monitor, so you can just break this easily and pick it up and replace it again when you want to get in there.
Problem solved.
Okay. And this program here, it runs on floppy disks in Computercraft, and those are made from a piece of paper and a piece of redstone there. And just put them side by side in your crafting area.
Wait. It ate my redstone.
Did it now.
Funny how those work.
Got crafting leg.
Okay. Paper. Redstone. Floppy disk.
Yeah, there you go. So now if you put one of the floppy disks in the floppy drive there.
Alright. Floppies.
And now just click on the screen there where it says to click to continue.
Right click, left click.
Right click. Right click on the touch monitors.
Ooh, touch.
Yes.
No categories exist.
Yes. So if you right click on the main computer at the bottom here, the first thing you'll probably want to do, you see it there, it says to-do list unlabeled. If you type L, enter L, then you can enter a label for this floppy.
Oh, neat. Okay. Ever do what should I pick first? Let's do data center.
Data center, sure.
Okay.
Yep, and then just click enter. And now that's set, and you can use A to add categories, and then underneath that, again, A to add projects, and then A to add tasks to these each of these projects.
Guest access panel. Okay. Now, just for sample's sake, I got some stuff in there. Now what?
Um, Now if you go back, all the way back to the categories list.
Back, projects, category list.
Actually, why don't you exit the terminal at this point?
Type exit.
No, just escape.
Okay.
And now you can navigate, take a look at your tasks on the main monitor here.
Oh.
So if you right-click Rookie Bits.
30 doors. No active tasks exist.
Yeah. And then there's a back at the bottom.
Pretty. Front desk. Ooh. Really kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. And there's a complete task button there. Just make sure that you actually click the right one, because I find it's a bit hard to aim at these sometimes.
Gotcha. Like I have my list of to-dos just laid out and tappy go.
Yeah. Now, why don't you eject that disk there?
Okay.
And put another floppy disk in there. Do you have it? Did you create another
I actually made 2 of them.
one? Awesome. I see that's loaded.
Oh, this one says data center on it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now put a label on that one.
Label this disk. What, add category?
L for change label.
Oh, hello. Again, kids, read. Read first. RTFM. By the way, where's the manual?
Yeah, sorry, I don't have that yet.
This one's going to be all. Ever unfinished one.
The ever unfinished one, yeah.
Ever unfinished one. So categories, we've got offices.
All right, so we can see here that it's now a little bit easier to find your list here. We can see you've already seen how easy it is to see right on the
Yeah, it
disk.
actually has a label on the
This
disk.
one's data center. This one's city hall. So you can, if it's sitting in a chest, you can easily find the
see
disks.
it. Very nice to have.
Mm-hmm. Now the other reason that I wanted to use floppies, because I could have just stored all this on the computer like I did with the Legends. But I wanted to use floppies so that if somebody takes over, let's say, a data center and you decide to give them an office over closer to the data center, and you want to give them the to-do list, I could plop down one of these to-do computers down over in their office, and you just need to ship them that floppy now. You don't need to worry about figuring out how to copy all the lists off the computer. You just need to give them this disk.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Of course, now I got to take my bookshelves out and put regular shelves in to put floppies on.
Yeah.
I really need like a floppy binder. That would be really nice to have.
That would be cool, yeah.
I need to make one of those.
Yeah.
Here, Computercraft. Need floppy binder.
In version 1.5.
In version 1.5.
Yeah.
For as long as we have this one here.
By the way, you can also color your floppy disks.
Can you?
Yeah. If you look up floppy in NEI, basically you just put the floppy disk beside a dye color, it looks like.
Oh.
NEI is really making zero sense with all this, though.
NEI is like that sometimes. That is epic, my friend. Well, thank you. This is a much needed thing.
Yeah. Now you can get rid of all these signs doing whatever around there.
What am I gonna decorate my walls with now? Yeah,
put some paintings on. I think we have that in this mod pack.
We do have painting. Maybe they hang on these walls or not. I don't know. Docs, thank you, my friend. That is gonna make things so much easier.
No problem.
Now, if I could just find a way to get all my Lino notes from the web into this, and that'd be golden.
Yeah.
Of course, you know what this does mean, right? I have to take all my books and put them on floppy now.
Yeah.
Busy?
Put your desk back and use that to help you. That way you don't need to open up the book. You just need to go.
I can't hire engineer services.
Look. No, I'll let you organize it. That way, it's a bit easier to. That way, you understand. I copied the
That
Rail one over, but that's
that
kind of
requires me doing the work.
Yeah, I know.
Now, this
But
is a
this
brilliant.
way, it's organized the way you want it.
This is a brilliant piece of work, man, and this is awesome. Are you going to be hosting this on Pastebin for others to download?
Yes, actually, it's I actually have it already up there.
Awesome.
That's actually how I downloaded it here.
I'll make sure to add that link to the show notes so people can check it out.
Oh, I definitely will. Trust me,
Cool.
when I made my last Computercraft program, I would have put that in there. I just had no idea how freaking easy it was to do that.
Pastebin is a wonderful thing, and it's a great way to keep you from losing a lot of good stuff in case the server goes frippy ding ding, as VSD puts it. Well, Tox, thank you again, my friend. That's going to be a huge help. And who knows, maybe I'll actually get myself organized and then actually start getting things done around here.
Yeah. Maybe.
I am so funny sometimes. All right, brother. Well, thank you again. I'm going to get... oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Start working on that.
Next program, one that does all the work for me.
Sorry, I'm not that advanced.
Turtles! Turtles! Turtles, I tell you! All right, Tox. Have a good one,
turtles
my
read
friend.
science?
I don't know. I do not know.
Yeah, I'm more of a turtle guy. I'm just standard computers.
I have to track him down, apparently.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, ADF Toxic, if you haven't checked out his channel, do so. He's awesome. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. So that's going to be it for this episode. Wow, I think my brain is turning into a potato tonight because I just completely forgot what I was saying right there, and I shouldn't be forgetting that. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this episode, so thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. If you're interested in our server or joining our server, you can come check out our website, bottlerocketgaming.com. And if you're just interested in watching my videos, then press the subscribe button and make sure to subscribe to the other YouTubers that make videos on here as well. And other than that, have a good life.